Okay, hey there. We're right in the middle of some vibe coding with Claude Desktop in the code tab. I don't know what you call that anymore. Like people are still calling it Claude Code. It's not Claude Code, it's an independent application, and it's not Claude Code as a desktop CLI. It's Claude Desktop. This is the desktop, the Mac OS specific desktop version of Claude, which has three tabs: chat, cowork, and code, and we're in that. The internet's very confused about terminology right now. When you Google for Claude Desktop, it doesn't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so the goal of this coding session here, which is being cranked away on by Claude Desktop code, is right now, I'm kind of stuck on this computer because I've got this whole stream of vibe coding all in one Claude session. And I have Googled my brains out trying to figure out if there's a way to transfer this session over to that computer. And if I remember from a prior video, the goal is that I don't look very good on this computer because I don't have my lights. And I I have my lights, which give me a little bit better complexion. And also when I record, I can like turn the saturation up a little bit. And so I can make myself look more tan instead of having this pasty white complexion that I have in real life, I guess. I mean, you know, I look better if I have a little bit of a tan. So I impose a artificial tan. But anyways, I can't do that because there's no way to take this conversation and move it over there because the people who created Claude Code never thought about that use case. Uh, and they, there's no way to do that. There's no easy way to do that. So, anyways, what I'm having to do is write some documentation to kind of capture this and put it into the docs folder. And I'm trying to cajole it into doing something reasonably okay good. And let's see what it's come up with. So, it's the first attempt. Uh, okay, so the first attempt that it did, it created a pull request and it had readme orientation, product philosophy, state, model, MD, blah, blah, blah. Now, the thing I didn't like about that is, first of all, it captured some old stuff about it. I was talking to it about how this was kind of inspired by my previous uh, uh, project, Open Squiggly, and how this is kind of similar. And I was just kind of bantering with it. And then it tried to capture all that in the documentation, which I didn't really want. I told it when I gave it this prompt, I'm pretty sure I said I want to capture as much relevant technical information as you can and put in the documentation. And by relevant technical documentation information, I meant don't put the stupid stuff we were riffing about Open Squiggly, and just put the technical information that another AI agent's going to need to code. But did it do that? No. It created this product philosophy.md file and decided to put all this stuff that I riffed about that's not necessary. And then the other thing I didn't like about what it did on the first pull request attempt is that it kept talking about how this is a read. It's got this real emphasis on this is a read only file browser and it doesn't do copies and moves and things like that. And that's true for right now today, but that's not going to be true for much longer. And it probably I am going to have it do copies and moves and reads and renames. I just started with the simpler because I didn't want to make it overly complex to get started out of the gate. I didn't want to have it do those things. So it's only because we just haven't written those features yet. It's that it can't do copies and moves and renames and deletes. It's not going to be that way forever, but it like sometimes AI it takes things too literally. That's one thing. And that's why it still needs the human guidance. It takes things too literally. you tell it something and then it thinks that that's the gospel truth forever. Uh, Anyways, so now it looks like it created this docs developer docs folder, which I don't think I really need a docs developer docs. Should I, should I have like human oriented user documentation, like how to use the product? And then this is just supposed to be technical documentation it was supposed to be creating. Uh, so let's see what it's done here. I guess it didn't give me another link back to the same PR. So I don't like the way, yeah, I don't want that. Ugh. Pause the video here for a second. All right, so here's the folder it's come up with. And did it put it in docs/developer docs? No, okay, it looks like it still kept it in docs. And so, one thing I don't like about, let's see, maybe I'm lying to myself, display as rich text. Okay, there. I want to be able to read the documentation. I didn't think it had that. Okay, so you have the markdown, the raw markdown, and then you can actually read it as it's formatted. Okay, conventions, cookbook. Can't remember that I have it on preview. So I got to do that for every file. Okay. Well, I'm just trying to see. So it looks like it is the docs folder, but see how here it says docs/developer docs. I don't know if I want docs/developer docs. Hmm. What? That's docs developer docs. Why is it? It just says docs here, but over here it says docs/developer docs. So which is it? I don't know. It doesn't, as far as I can tell, it's just docs. So I don't know. I just wanted to capture stuff. Okay. I just wanted to capture the technical information so that when I go over there to that computer and give myself a tan with the saturation and the lights, that it, and also I should put on a better shirt. It's kind of ugly. Like I should dress up a little bit more for these videos. And I told you these first couple of videos, I'm just sort of getting started. I'm just kind of laying the groundwork, and then I'll like start upping my game here a little bit with better lighting and such. I guess we'll just accept this. Move this out of the way. Okay, fine. So I guess I'll just go ahead and merge this. AI does, they do a really good job of creating these PRs. I mean, like me as a human being, I just never do this. Like create all, and they even create check boxes that you're supposed to check, and which I'm not going to do because this is just documentation. Uh, I'm just going to accept it, and if I don't like the directory structure, I'll tweak it later. Hopefully this is enough that I can get over into that computer. Also, I'm going to be using like I want to be able to use codecs. I want to be able to use my OpenClaw agent, like every different kind of thing being able to contribute to this project. It won't always be coming from one session. This is all the details that all these other channels on YouTube that there's some really good channels out there, but man, they go so fast. They're just so fast. They gloss over a lot of details and anyway, so I'm just going to merge this. Merge. And I'm still not sure if whether it's is it docs and the docs go in there, or is it docs/developer docs? Like a subfolder below that. It's not really very clear. Uh, okay. Maybe I can tell by going back. Okay, so it's just docs. I don't know what this developer docs thing was. So there's docs, and so it's developer documentation in the in the title here, but it's still just in the docs folder, so that's good. Cookbook. All I want is just enough where I don't have to have, I can go to that computer and pick up where I left off. Hopefully this is good enough. Okay, so anyways, that's what I did here in this video. I know it's a little bit boring, but I think the point is that you do want to keep your documentation up to date, and we are kind of getting in this mode where we can't just rely on the context in a single stream of conversation. We're going to be having, we're going to be going back and forth between Claude and Codex, right? Uh, Mostly because I only pay for a $20 subscription for each one, and I don't think I'm ready yet to start paying $200 a month for one of them, but I go back and forth between the two. And then I've also got OpenClaw, which is hooked up to my ChatGPT subscription with OAuth, so it's chewing up the $20 a month tokens from there as well. But someday I might hook that up to an API call so that it's a separate stream of money that it's taking, and then I can have 20 from Claude, 20 from Codex, and then extra on the for API tokens that I purchase directly. But got to think about how to manage this on a multi-contributor, multi-computer, multi-agent basis, and maintaining enough documentation so we can do that. Okay, I think I'll call it quits for this video.